and control my life for a day. So you guys, again later after taking a bath, look like at the moment and would already be placed in my room. Hopefully, you know, put it in this way with the monopod. It's not the most organized at the moment. Going to be organizing. So here I also have put it inside a pot. All school related stuff. I just finished, and you guys, this is what my room looks like at the moment. There isn't much of a difference except on this part. And by the way, I forgot to add my camera bag a while ago, so I place it there once again. And my tripod is still there, but it will be also moved here later on, like in that spot over there. So yeah, that's that. And also this is what my table looks like right now, more pleasant to look at. And I decided to put the Charm acne solution there once again because it might leak if I were to put it here. So this is what the bimbo organizer looks like. I have some tissues and alcohol here. I have a hairbrush and I have some cotton buds over here. And I have a mask here and the washable filters that will be placed inside of my other masks. And this is the mirror. Hello. That is basically what my room looks like at the moment. Thank you so much for voting organize my room. And in connection with organizing my room, I would also already clean my room. So I would just get a broom and a dustpan. That way I could already start and cleaning it and making my room a cleaner place to live in. And yeah, and by the way, I'm thinking if I should lessen the bags over here or if I just remove them. I don't know. Anyway, I still have some caps over here. What else have you guys not seen? My cabinet is still organized, kind of, and except for this one, it's kind of falling, but it is still pretty much organized, even up to the bottom part. And my paintings are still there. I am planning to move them somewhere else anytime in the future, but the future that isn't too far from where we are now, hopefully. And yeah, that's still the childhood Christmas tree. That is the drawing tablet. Under that are the papers. That way I could just lift this and get the paper whenever I'd be needing those and just put it on top again. And that is the gold leaf accent that we have. That is a sofa bed, and the bedsheet that I've already told you guys the reason behind that earlier. I'll be putting these two out now, and I'll see you guys again later. Hello guys, I'm finally done cleaning my room. So this is what it looks like at the moment. It is all clean now. That is my rug. That is the marbles that I showed you guys earlier and explained to you what it's used for. And yeah, it's just much cleaner to look at now. Oops. Except for this one, because this is where I'll be putting my tripod later on. So that would be there for the meantime. My tripod's still here anyway because I would be filming the informative segment that I have for you guys later on. And I asked you guys if you'd want me to talk more about doing layouts like the fonts, styles, and all that, or my recent go-to songs. And I feel like the one leading in the Facebook stories is actually the recent go-to songs, and on Instagram it is the layout. But if you'd combine both, the layouts have more votes as compared to the other one, but it's actually 333. And I also asked you guys if you'd want me to either eat a snack or just rest at 3 p.m. or so, and majority of you guys said eat a snack, which I do not normally do. At this point in time, I prefer sleep over food. And yeah, because you guys voted for eat a snack, I would just be eating a snack that we have outside, and maybe just a banana. Maybe that would be okay. And also after that one, I would be helping my mom clean the house. And yeah, I would basically be the one who would be mopping. And later on, we'd also be changing the bed sheets and all that. So the organizing thing that you guys chose me to do was kind of like a preparation for the cleaning later on. And I thank you so much again for choosing organizing my room, because then I was able to use my time more productively as compared to what it would be if I were to just watch YouTube videos and all that. But anyway, I would now be eating a snack because that's what you guys voted for. And I'm sorry for any background noises that may be present anytime in the video, either chicken noises, dog noises, and all that. And right now I'd be going outside, go get some banana or something that I could be eating as a snack. So I'll see you guys outside of this room. Hello guys, and as you just saw, I just ate a banana for my snack, and right now I'll be helping my mom in mopping this house and cleaning it, and after that I'd finally be doing my informative segment, and we'll just wait for the results of the poll later on as well. And I'll see you guys when the informative segment of this video will already take place. So I'll see you guys until then. Bye bye. Hello guys, and welcome back, and for today we will now be having the informative segment. And actually it was a close fight, but with the Facebook and Instagram votes combined, majority still voted for doing the layouts. So here I am today in front of my laptop, and I will just be showing you guys how I basically am editing and how I do layouts, fonts also. I have some exciting fonts to show to you guys out there, and also I will just be charging my laptop in a while because it's only at 23% at the moment. And yeah, I'm just so excited to share this with you guys. Okay, so a quick backstory, or how I started into doing layouts and stuff, or how I enjoyed the art of it. Basically, when I was still younger, like 7th grade and all that, I was interested first in doing PowerPoint. I was amazed with how you could animate everything in just an app that is completely free. And yep, and so before I feel like I was focused more on the animations, but as I grew older, most especially this year, I focused more on the layout. And actually last year when I was in 10th grade, I actually focused more on the animations still, but this year I feel like is the year where I completely focused more on layouts. So here are sample layouts that I have done for this year, and I'm excited to just show you guys even just a quick glimpse of how I do it. Okay, so we are now in Photoshop, and the app that I have been using lately is Photoshop. And last year I didn't know how to use Photoshop that much yet, but this year I decided to learn it and to kind of use it actually for layouts and all that, because when I was younger, or basically even just last year, how I lay out was basically by using Keynote only. So I decided to just learn Photoshop, not actually learn, but kind of use it consistently, that way I could learn it, which is basically like the first thing I said. But yeah, anyway, we have here the Photoshop app. We're just gonna click on new and insert the size of the canvas we want to work with, and this is the last setting that I had since it is the time that I made a brochure. Anyway, we're just gonna put the width and height to 6 by 6 inches and 8-bit only, because that would allow to add filters onto the elements that you have in Photoshop, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we'd be working with a 6 by 6 canvas, and our resolution would just be in 1000 to have still that high quality. And yeah, this is what I've been working with whenever I do projects and layouts. I first start with a transparent background, that way I could see each element whenever I would be erasing the background and all that. And I'm just gonna show you some fonts as well. So the first font that I have for you guys is this Helvetica, which is kind of cool actually, based from the name that it has. I have it in italic. So this is what the Helvetica font looks like, and I would basically just be putting the background on the color black, that way you could see the font even better. So yeah, that's the Helvetica, which is a very good font actually. So first I'd be talking about the fonts, and after that the styles and how I lay out stuff. So yeah, I would probably be sharing with you 5 to 10 fonts that I have been loving lately. Okay, so the next font that I have here is this Kawit Free. Okay, so that is Kawit Free. It is a free font from Behance, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I pronounced that site correctly, but yeah, that is the name. It is a Filipino inspired font. Same is true with the next font that I'll be sharing with you guys. That is the Quiapo. There it is, also Quiapo Free. If you guys can see the fonts, I love them so much. Let me zoom it in for you. So this is the fonts that we have for the meantime, and my recent favorite has been this Let On Hills, or Let On Hills. I don't know how to pronounce fonts correctly. This is the next font that we have, Let On Hills. It's so good, right? It's kind of like the trendy fonts that have been resurfacing 2020 lately. And yeah, that is another font that has been in my favorites recently. And the next one, or the 5th font, we actually have the Made Sunflower. It is kind of the same with Let On Hills, or Let On Hills, It has these lines on the edge. I feel like it leans more to the serif family. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's just another font that I've been loving lately. And the next one is I actually have a lot of fonts here, but I tend to only use the ones that I've been really loving lately. And this one is also a good font, Philippine. And basing from the name, it is of course a Filipino inspired font. So we'll just be putting the spacing on 225. Yeah, 25 would be okay for you to also see Philippine. Yeah, so that is another font that I've been loving lately. And this would probably be the last one because these are just my go-to fonts lately. And that would have to be Champion. Again, I got this font from Kel Lauren. And yep, this is just the fonts that I've been loving recently. We have 7 fonts. They're actually not that bad. And we're just gonna change the color to an off-white kind of color. That way we could play around with it later on. So the first tip that I have for you is to have a color palette that you would be able to carry on for the rest of the layout. Most especially what you're doing a layout on is not only for a single page. If you'll be having multiple pages, having a tight color scheme would make everything else look more cohesive and stronger and tighter later on. Yeah, that's my first step. I don't actually know how to do color palettes. I cannot seem to be able to find colors that would match with each other well. Remember, they'd all be together later on. However, one thing that I've been doing is finding color palettes through Pinterest. If you guys don't know what Pinterest is, why do you not know what Pinterest is? I'm just kidding. Anyway, like in here, I would just go to Pinterest. And usually on my home tab, I already have kind of layouts that would have a specific color scheme that go well with each other. And then I would just be using those ones. For example, we have this, Agatha Singer. I don't know if I butchered that name. Sorry if I did. But I would just be dragging that onto this one. So yeah, that would just serve as my color scheme, and so I would make that bigger. That way, whenever I'd be doing a color picker, it would be more accurate. Because sometimes when an image is too small, whenever you'd be using the color picker on that one, it could either be too light or too dark, or it would not get the exact shade of that color. So keep that in mind. And I would just be naming this one as the color scheme. You don't actually need to do that, but me being just the OC person that I am, I want everything to be cool and all that. For example, for the background, I would be using this blue color, and so I would put that there. And for the font, I would be using the pink one. And so that would be it. And there are some colors that even though they're already put up in a published layout, they still don't look good together, or maybe they're just not your type, like what I am having right now. But this is when I would pick more colors from the palette and would try it on to the canvas that I'm working with. So for example, I'd be getting the cream and I would be using that as my background, and I feel like that is better as compared to the blue. Then that is what I'm just going to do for that. We have this one. Another thing that I tend to do is to play with the text itself, and by this I could either put the fill on 0% and put a stroke that would just be around 10 or even 5. Probably 7 would be okay. However, it would still be in the color of the fill that I've done earlier, which is the pink. So you could have that, or we can even have this blue over here. So yeah, at least you have now more options as to what you could do with your layouts later on. Okay, so we have now 2 options, the filled one and the outlined one, and I would just be fixing it for you guys to be able to see everything better. Yeah, that's just a cool way also to spice things up. And also another thing that I like doing is to warp the text into either flag whenever I want to have that thing going on, or if it's too much for me, I could just go for a wave, a rise, or basically anything in this warp text. However, sometimes I just am okay with this one. And what I've been loving lately is adding shapes into this one. You could press this button over here and there is custom shape tool, and you can click this tab at the topmost part and you'd be having different shapes now. And for example, we're gonna be using this one, and again, we're gonna get colors from the palette that we have. Personally, I don't like thick lines, so I just put it around 1 or sometimes even 0.5. Let's try 0.5 in this one. Yeah, I'm okay with 0.5 in this one. No issues with me at all. But actually, it depends on you. And yeah, you could play around with the colors as well. You could go back to pink one if you don't feel this green. But yeah, I'm actually okay with that. And you could even put a fill on this one. So for example, you'd want to have a fill on that. That would be the output. But personally, I'm leaning more to the outlines only lately, as you guys saw from my layouts earlier. Yep, so this would just be the tips that I have for the meantime, adding shapes as well. And even this world, I've been using this world symbol lately, and it kind of goes with the vibe of the layout that I've been into these days. And yeah, you can also decrease the opacity of these shapes whenever you want the text to stand out even better. And yeah, but personally, for example, in this specific one, I would just probably be reducing it to around 50 or even 60. Yeah, maybe I'm good with 50. And another thing that we could do is to highlight the text that we want to be highlighted by using this brush over here. So for example, in this Helvetica, and that would just add more dimension. And you could actually even use the rectangle tool for this one. For example, in this Kawit free font, we could fill it with the pink color, and that would just elevate the text, most especially if you want that specific text to be highlighted. And so that would basically just be it for the meantime. And the last thing actually that I've been loving also lately is adding textures, like paper textures, PNGs, and I just searched for that. So for example, we have this white paper. I'm just gonna drag that down into this one and transform it and make it big enough to be able to fit the screen. And I'd put that on top of the background color, and I would just change the blending mode to either screen or overlay, or actually I'll just try anything that would make it achieve the effect of having the textured paper later on. For example, this one, it could be quite daring, but I'm still okay with it, and we could just change the color of the stroke to this color or the lighter one. And we could also change the colors of the shapes into the cream one as well, if you guys would want to, or the pink one. But I'm leaning more towards the pink one for this one. Or maybe we could actually use the pink one on the other and the cream on the other. So yeah, that is just the tips that I have for the meantime. And if you guys would want to see me do more of like this, like how I add pictures, how I change them and all that, then make sure to comment it below for me to also know what you guys would want to see. So yeah, thank you very much for coming into this video and for controlling my life for a day. I've learned a lot from today and I've done a lot. Thank you for making me productive. And yeah, that would basically be it for this one. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and also comment down other video suggestions you'd like to see me do next. And that would be it for now. This has been Sebastian, and I hope that we could spread love a little more often, and I'll see you till my next video. Bye bye.